Hey, what's up, guys? Alright, so I'm here just to do a quick beginner's lesson on some ways that you can spice up your chords. And these are very, very simple chords. The chord progression that I was playing was just D major, C major, G major, back to D major, okay? So these are chords that most beginners learn, usually pretty early on. So if you don't know these chords, then this lesson is probably not for you, because I want to kind of focus on people that already know these chords and just want some ways to spice up these chords. Okay, so again, you have D major, C major, and G major. Okay, now D major is a lot of fun to kind of mess with, because you got that pinky thing going on, and then you have your first finger that you can lift up and make different cool kind of noises. Really quick, I want to say, when I first started playing about 5 years ago, everything I played sounded exactly the same, like literally. Okay, so if I were to play this progression, then I would probably have played it like this 5 years ago. And that was really annoying. I didn't even know about it till like later. I looked back at some things and I was like, how come nobody told me that I was doing that? So anyways, so that might, I hope that didn't sound cool to anyone, but it may have. It depends on what context you're using it in. But basically, okay, I want to start talking about just the idea of playing things a little bit gentler and not playing everything exactly the same and going hard on everything. Okay, so that was just another example of me playing terribly. Just to show you that was kind of like, it kind of made you kind of be like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? So, if you are a player that, and maybe this is a revelation for you, maybe you are just now discovering that you too are a player, okay? I don't know. I'm just trying to help somebody out, okay? And you might be somewhere in between there to where you can play this chords kind of softer. Okay, so that's not bad, right? Okay, so maybe you just want some ways to kind of spice things up. So that's what this video is for, alright? So what I'm going to do is first go to the D major chord. Okay? I'm really quickly going to go through this because, again, if you don't know these chords, then this video is probably not for you, but I got my first finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the high E string, and I have my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and I'm playing open D. Okay? So that's that. Alright? Couple things you can do. And I'm not going to get into what these are called and all that, because I don't want to confuse anybody. This is just, if you want to just start adding some cool stuff right now, okay? So when you have D major like this, one of the things you can do is add your pinky on the... Gene? You scare me. Add your pinky on the high, the 3rd fret of the high E string. Okay, so you notice I just put it on, and then I take it off. Okay, another thing you can do is take your first finger and you can lift it up. Okay, you see I'm kind of mixing those two. So you can hammer on, with your middle finger, you can hammer on to the 2nd fret of the high E string. Okay. You can hammer on to the 3rd fret of the high E string. Okay, you can start off with your middle finger up instead of having it down. You can start off with your middle finger up and then hammer on to the C chord next, but okay, I'm getting a little carried away there. Don't do that. So just you can hammer on with your middle finger. You can hammer on with your pinky. Okay, so those are just some things that you can do. All right, I'm going on to the C major chord. Okay, that's just the regular C major. The way that I was playing it in this video, I was going. Okay, more like I think it's C add 9 or something. If you don't know, don't worry about it. Okay, I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm taking my first finger, I have it on the 2nd fret of the D string. Okay, my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and my pinky on the 3rd fret of the high E string. Okay, and you have. Okay, now when I go to this chord, let's see. Okay, that's one thing that I really like to do. It sounds really cool. So I'm taking my middle finger. Okay, and I'm hammering on. Instead of just going straight to the chord, I'm kind of hammering on with the bass notes. And so I'm hammering on with my middle finger to the 3rd fret of the A string. So I got, okay, and then with this finger here, my first finger, I'm hammering on to the 2nd fret of the D string. Okay, and then I'm just kind of randomly, can you see this hand? I'm just kind of randomly plucking the other string. That's another thing that I like to do. So I'm taking, instead of hammering on with the with the ring finger, you can just do with the first finger. And you get something that sounds like that. So again, I'm taking my first finger and I'm hammering on from the open position to the 2nd fret of the D string. Okay, so far we got G, or not G, D. G! That's my crazy husband being silly. Okay, so you got D major. Okay, when you get to that G major, it's a very similar concept as when you were at the C add 9. Okay, so I'm at the G major, and I'm just, okay, you can do that. Okay, so I'm playing first the open E string. Okay, so I'm playing open E string and then hammering on with my middle finger. Then I got the open A string, and I'm hammering on with my first finger. Okay, just like when you were at C add 9, you play the open E string. The open A string. Okay, open A string, hammer down on the 3rd fret of the A string. I got the open D string, and I'm hammering down on the 2nd fret of the D string. Okay, so let me just show you some of these ideas. And everything else I'm doing, instead of strumming, try to not strum, okay? Try and arpeggiate the chords. Just kind of randomly play them, or softly strum. But again, I'll show you the difference. I'll show you the difference between when you just randomly, crazily strum through, and then when you tastefully kind of like just here and there play a couple chords, a couple notes. All right, so you have, I'm going to play really slow. I know somebody's gonna say, what did you do with that one part? Alright, so let's see. All I'm doing, so I'm already here at the C add 9 chord, and I just take my middle finger. Okay, so I got my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. I got my first finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, and then I'm playing open A. Okay, so you have. I'm going to obviously the bass note, which is G of the G major chord, and that's on the 3rd fret of the low E string. Okay, so let me put that together again. Okay, wasn't that just peaceful? I'm not overthinking it. I'm not thinking about like, what am I gonna do next? Which finger am I gonna lift? Just kind of play with it, flow with it. It's 3 chords. It's very simple. You could write a song to that if you wanted to. You could just, you know, sometimes when I get home from a long day, I like to just play easy, simple chords and just kind of let my brain not have to think and not have to do anything. Now tell me that don't sound better than... Keep it real. Keep it real. Alright, so again, I'm not against strumming. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying it's nice to have the option to switch it up and to kind of play gracefully and different at times if you're tired of strumming sometimes. Alright, so G major, C add 9, G major chord. Those are your 3 basic chords. And those are just some ways to spice it up. If you have any questions, let me know. Add your own ideas. Those are not the only options. Those are just some things that I taught. But mess around with it and see what you can come up with and make it your own style and do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? All right, so that's it.